everyone, and welcome to week 3 of the 12 weeks of holidays. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Happy Thanksgiving card. The pilgrim is cut from the paper doll dress up, and I'll be showing you how I designed that on my gypsy. So let's get started. To make our card, we're going to need a piece of beige cardstock. I used paper from the Tim Coffey Cane Company Designer Matte Pad. Has some really pretty papers in here. I chose to use this green with the swirl on it. A piece of scrap green cardstock to match. A piece of ribbon. The Happy Thanksgiving stamp from Stampin' Up. This is in the, I believe it's called the Mini Monograms set. Some black diamond stickles, Peachy Keen's stamps, basic paper dolls. This is PK570. We're going to be using the one smiley face on there. We'll need black Stays-On ink, the word window punch from Stampin' Up, and the modern label punch from Stampin' Up as well. And of course, we're going to need our gypsy. To get started, I laid everything out on my gypsy. I have all the pieces that I need, and I made several of these cards, so I went ahead and just fit whatever I could where I could on the screen or on my mat, and then cut them out on my expression. Everything is cut at 4 inches for this card. So to get started, I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, cut it in half, and scored it 4 1/4, so we have our A2 size card. I have my 2 pieces of paper. Our pattern paper measures 4 by 4 3/4, and our scrap cardstock measures 4 by 1 1/2. And what I'll do is I'm going to adhere this down, but I'm kind of going to eyeball where I want this, so the margin is all the same all the way around. And then I'll go ahead and glue this down. Okay, I have my 2 pieces put together. Now what I'm going to do is add my ribbon. And this is just a piece of 1/4 inch wide satin ribbon. It's not white. It's like an off-white cream color. And we're going to just add that at this, at this intersection where the papers meet, just to give it a little more of a finished edge. Okay, and there's the front of our card. We're ready to put this down. So go ahead and add some ATG to the back. I'm going to stick this down. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is stamp my sentiment. And what I did was took a piece of the same color as the card base, and I am going to stamp this Happy Thanksgiving on here. Okay, and I'm going to use my word window punch to punch this out and get this even in here. Okay, and then what I do is I take a piece of scrap of my pattern paper, and I'm going to adhere my word window punch with my sentiment, let me hear you, right on my paper. Okay. And this way I don't have to fight with trying to get this little piece on here and making sure it's even. I can just put it down here and then use my modern label punch and punch this out, and it'll be nice and straight and even without having to do too much here. If I can get it straight here. Okay, and there we go. It's nice, straight, and it is on there. Okay, so we're going to put that aside. I went ahead and cut out both of my pilgrim, and I have all his pieces here. I have his rifle, his little shoes, and these things, be careful because you can lose them. They're really tiny. I dropped them on the floor and had a hard time finding them, so just keep them in your sights. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put him all together, and I will come right back. Okay, our little pilgrim guy is all put together, and I wanted to mention that I stamped his face first because if you can see, his eyebrows are underneath his hair there. So go ahead and stamp your faces first, and stamp them, you know, lower than center on the, when you stamp. Like here's the center line. You want to make your eyes below that because then when you put their hair on, you know, it doesn't cover up all their face. Now he's looking pretty plain, so what I want to do is I want to add a little bit of stitching around his collar, and I'm going to add some black diamond stickles on him as well. So I'm just going to do some faux stitching around his collar, give it a little bit of pizzazz. Okay, and our black diamond stickles. I'm sure back in the Pilgrim's time they didn't have all sparkly, but I think he needs just a little bit of sparkle to him. So I'm just going to put some of this right here on his brim of his hat. Just put some on there and around the top and on his belt. Actually, I'm going to do his whole belt in sparkly, because I think our pilgrim guy needs just a little bit of bling to make him stand out from all the rest of the pilgrims. Okay, alrighty, and there he is. He is done and ready to be put on our card. So we're just going to set him aside to dry, and we'll get back to him in a second. The gun I cut out in just some gray cardstock that I had, and I'm just going to add a little bit of faux wood grain on here with my pen, just like a little squiggly circle on the barrel or on the butt end, and just some little lines along here around the barrel. Just give it a little bit of dimension, not to look too plain. Okay, and then we'll put that on with some pop dots when we're ready. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and assemble our card here, and our guy's stickles are not quite dry, so I'm going to be careful with putting him on. Just going to put him off to the side here, and I'm using some Scotch Quick Dry on him since I can't turn him over and put any tape on the back. So, okay, he's on there. We're going to get our pop dots, and I'm going to pop up our sentiment. Just going to put one on each end here. Okay, Happy Thanksgiving. We're going to put that right here on our card. And then we're going to take our little gun. I guess this is called a musket, what they used back then. And we're going to add a little dimension here for that. And put that on his hand. turn this sideways to get a better angle. My stickies are really sticky on these. Okay, and there's our little pilgrim guy. Now for the inside of the card, I'm going to bring the original one over here. I did a sentiment on the inside. So we have our pilgrim on the outside. It says Happy Thanksgiving. You think, oh, that's such a cute card. It's so sweet. Nice and, you know, not too crazy. And then you open it up and it says got turkey. And I cut the turkey out from the Create a Critter. And I think he's cut at 3 inches. Let's measure him here. Nope, he's cut at 4 inches. I cut him out at 4 inches. I did a little stitching around his hat, added some googly eyes, and some stitching around his feathers and some white dots. And added my got turkey on the other side. So there's our card for today. Traditional looking on the inside and whimsical on the outside and whimsical on the inside. I hope you like it and join me again for week 4 of the 12 weeks of holiday. Thanks.